Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. How are you today? Today, we have a guest that will share with us what she's doing. Her name is Tamisha, and she's a man coach and meditations guide. Hi, Tamisha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes, I would like if you can share with us what exactly inspired you to become a men's coach, especially specializing with by helping men after divorce.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you again for having me.
Yeah.
So prior to stepping into life coaching, I was a podcast consultant. So I helped those start their podcast. So I was doing that for a little bit. And as I was sharing that on different social media platforms, I had a gentleman reach out to me and ask me for coaching. And so we ended up working together. And he was my first life coaching client. And I absolutely loved working with him and seeing his transformation. And I decided in life coaching and really getting deeper into that world. And so as I started pivoting from podcast consulting to life coaching and figuring out, okay, who am I going to help? How am I going to build this business? It became really apparent that men were who I was supposed to help, and that there was really a need for a safe space for men to express themselves emotionally and be able to have a space of healing and transformation. So I just felt a calling to really dive fully into that work and help men in particular. And so as I continue to learn and grow and work with men, I then pivoted yet again as we continue to pivot and grow to help men after divorce. And that really was inspired through my own journey. I went through a divorce, and it was really the lowest point in my life, having to overcome that. And so I recognized overcoming a divorce in just literally all parts of my life, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and financially. I was able to rebuild my life. And so I really felt that helping men after divorce and wanting to step back into dating, that was something I was able to conquer for myself. I'm now engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just felt like, okay, that is the man that I can help rebuild so that he can fulfill his purpose and be the confident man that I know he is.
That's great. Yes, because you experience it, so you are able to help them with different obstacles that they can have.
Yeah.
And that's good. And what unique challenges divorced men face when re-entering to dating world, and how do you help them overcome these obstacles?
Yeah. So I would say that especially like after my divorce, I felt a sense of like I was lost. While I was divorced, while I was married prior to divorce, I did everything with my husband, and there was that connection of like we had the same friend groups, all of our money was together. There was a security of like, this is part of my identity. And so once that was gone, I felt very lost. I felt very uncertain. And I felt very not clear on what my purpose was anymore. And that is what led me into a depression. I felt very spiritually confused. There was just a lot of confusion. That would be the word that would encompass everything. And so I find that the challenge men may also face is that same sense of like loss and hopelessness. And even if they have overcome that phase, when they are ready to step back into dating, what I found is that lack of confidence. And, depending on the timeline, a lot has also changed in dating, it comes with dating apps and all of those things. I know that was foreign to me just a couple of years ago. So there's just a lot of different challenges that come with going from being in a long-term partnership to now you are just on your own. So I'm able to help navigate that change through a lot of the experiences I've been able to overcome myself.
I see. And I just want to ask a question, because you are the one who divorced, and maybe the audience who would like to know, why did you choose men instead of a woman?
Yeah, of course. So as I explained earlier, I was a podcast consultant. So I was already working with men, and that's as I was sharing my experience on different social media platforms. It was actually Clubhouse back in the COVID days. I had a man, reach out to me for coaching, and so this gentleman asked me for life coaching, and he became my very first client. So working with this man and seeing his transformation, that's what really inspired me to continue to work with guys in particular as I became certified in my life coaching program. And once I started building my business, that's really when I recognized, okay, men in particular really need that safe space for healing and being able to just have a space where they can uncover their emotional stuff, if you will. And I find that as a woman, I have the opportunity to provide a lens that's different from a man. Not to say that one is better than the other. I think it's just different.
Okay.
And I believe I attract a certain type of man that may feel more comfortable and safe in a female presence. That's the feedback I've gotten as well. Okay. And there's not that many female coaches that work with men. So it's been really exciting to provide that service and be of service for men that do value sharing with women. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, thanks. Yeah. And
of course. Yeah, quite a lot.
Can you share maybe a success story from one of your clients and that illustrates the transformative power of your coaching? I don't know if you heard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would say that's probably my most work. Honestly, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, so it's my most recent client. He came to me wanting to work on confidence and his communication skills, both in his professional life and in dating as well. And so he felt very awkward around women. He felt like he couldn't speak up. He didn't know how to speak up. He didn't know how to effectively communicate where he's able to lead. And he's very like passive in his communication. So through working with me, both in one-on-one coaching and in my group coaching program, he was able to understand not only how to effectively communicate, but also understand why he wasn't able to show up in a confident way. And that allowed him to now just show up more powerfully. He's since got a promotion at work. He's now in management, which is super exciting. And now he also actually wants to date. Before it felt like a chore, like, oh, it's something I have to do, or something I have to practice. Otherwise, I'll never get good at it. I'll never have a friend. But now he actually enjoys dating, and he enjoys putting himself out there, and he feels more confident, and he's actually having a good time on the date and feeling good in his body. He's not feeling as awkward and nervous. Yeah. And so that was really exciting to witness that transformation.
Oh, that's wonderful. And how do you tailor your coaching approach to meet the specific needs of each client?
Yeah, so each client is very different. Of course, everybody has different needs and different goals they're working on. Even though there's a overarching goal of like wanting to step back into dating, what I find is once I actually have a conversation with the client, they realize there are other things they're wanting to work on within that, or there were other obstacles holding them back from achieving their goal, which is always such a fun discovery process. And so what I found is that specifically on the first call, it's really a conversation of us getting to know one another and how they are wanting to get coached. And so that first call is really that discovery and figuring out of, okay, what is it that you want to get out of this program? How would this program be a success for you? Like, what would need to happen in order for you to walk away and say, okay, this program worked. right? And so I really dig deep so that the client can articulate that so that it doesn't feel ambiguous. There's something actually written down. And then from there, I just work backwards. I figure out, okay, how do you like to be coached? And oftentimes, men in particular have never been asked that question. Like, what are your desires? What are your needs? What do you want? And it's kind of like, oh, you're
Yeah.
asking me what I want. And so
Yeah.
I have specific questions that make them really dig and reflect, like, oh, what do I want? How do I want to be spoken to? And that's actually designed to start the process of them stepping into their masculine and allowing them to not be as passive. Because a lot of the clients that I tend to work with are more passive and not as assertive. And that's what they want to work on. And so I find that that session, that first session in particular, really allows me to, through their answers that they're giving me, I can then figure out, oh, you answered this way, this way. I can then tailor the program based off of that to what they may need.
Okay. And it's true what you are saying. Men are not used to answer what do you know, like what do you want, what do you need? It's usually women, it's the other way around. So yeah, that will make them think really what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. And communication skill that we just mentioned is crucial in dating. What are some common communication issues that your client are facing, and how do you help them? I think you mentioned a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the most common one is that they are more passive and that they're not able to it's not that they're not able to, but they have they struggle with how to step into a more assertive role and leading. So that's the biggest thing that I'm getting with my client. Don't know how to gauge, did she have a good time and ask her out on a second date? There's this sense of passiveness of waiting for her to make the first move or for her to lead. And it's interesting because all of the men that I work with or tend to work with, they're like, oh, I want to be a masculine man, or I want her to be more feminine. I want to take charge. I want to be the guy that's like the protector, the provider. However, then in the situation, they're like, oh, I just leave it up to her. She makes the plans. I just want her to figure it out. And so it's very interesting that, they want to be this protector provider, but then when it comes to it, they're not stepping into the role and doing the actions that would lead to that. And so I find that the biggest challenge is that they don't know how to communicate and how to biggest obstacle. And through the group coaching and the one-on-one, we dig deeper, we look at the subconscious mind, and we peel back the layers and figure out, okay, why is that happening? Because of course there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. So I don't just want to like provide the solution and that's it, because typically that's a very short-term solution. You want to dig deeper.
Yeah.
But as far as to answer your question, I would say it's definitely the passive communication and turning that into more assertive communication.
Yeah. Okay. And what advice you will give to divorced men who are hesitant about seeking a coaching service, but are looking to improve their dating lives?
Yeah, of course. I would say look at it as an opportunity to just see if it's something for you. That's why many coaches call that first call a discovery call, because you're truly just discovering what this is about. And so I invite you to look at it almost like just going into it as like a child, just being curious. Like, okay, there's no obligation to figure out, if I'm going to actually commit and work with this person. I'm just scoping it out. I'm just seeing, okay, is this coach the right fit for me? And vice versa. That's how I look at it too. Because if this isn't a client I believe I can truly help, or if this isn't a client that I believe is fully committed to growth, then it's not going to work. You have to fully be committed to the work, and the client has to also be committed to themselves, because otherwise they're going to drop out after 1 or 2 sessions, and it's kind of just a waste of time for everyone. So if you're hesitant, but you want improvement in your life, you want to step into dating, and you've considered it, and you know that you need assistance, first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge you for even considering it, because I know that's a big step. A lot of men feel that they need to figure things out on their own. They shouldn't even ask for help. And so if you're even watching this right now and you're like, you know what, the fact that you're considering it is amazing. You're already making progress. So that's incredible. That's number one. Number two, if you are talking to a coach, don't feel this obligation that you have to work with this person. Ask them questions. Ask them questions, feel them out. And it's okay to talk to multiple coaches. In fact, I encourage it. And then go with the one that you feel will be best able to help you and that you feel comfortable with, that you're able to really share and grow with. That is so incredibly important, because you are making an investment. From there, you got to just lean in and go for it, right? Because ultimately, if you don't just have and step into it and go for it, then you're going to exactly where you are now, and that is stuck.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice.
Okay, I see. And are you working remotely, or like all over the world, or how do you work?
Yeah, so I work remotely. So all of our calls are right through Zoom. So you can be anywhere in the world, which is amazing. Technology is incredible.
Yes.
So I offer one-on-one sessions about, I know I want to be able to help as many men as possible. And depending on where you are, and especially after divorce, I totally get it. Depending on where you are, I want it to be affordable, whether, you're just able to pop in with the membership, or if you want to go all in with the one-on-one or with the group coaching. So there's something available for everyone. So I'm really excited to be offering that.
All right. And if any men want to reach you, what do you have as a platform?
Yes. See what the vibe is and be a part of that free community. And then from there, if you are curious to dive deeper, you could just reach out to me and book a free discovery call like we just chatted about, and we can see if working together makes sense. So the Facebook community is just facebook.com, and then just search Men Rise Together, because I do believe that men do rise together. It's all about community. So if you just look that up, you'll see the group. Just join, and we can get in touch.
All right. So maybe you can send me the email. I will add it below the video, so it will be easier for them to just click on it, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the link so they can join the community.
All right. Thank you. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Ooh, let's see. That's a great question. I would just say, for those men that are watching this, I just want to say that you are so incredibly valuable. You are so incredibly important. And regardless of where you are on your path right now, please do not give up on your mission, your passion, and also the desire to step back into dating, because we need you, and you're so incredibly valuable. I can't stress that enough. I've met so many men on my journey as a coach that have suffered from this lack of worthiness and thinking that they're not good enough, or thinking that they don't matter, and that no one would even notice or care if they are no longer here. I've heard some really just heartbreaking stuff. And so I just feel compelled to share, if you are a man watching this, this is not true. God has a purpose for you. You are so incredibly important. You are so loved just because you are here. You have just forgotten, and it's okay. And it's okay to ask for help. And, it may not be me, it may be someone else, but please do ask for help if that's something you need. Men don't ask for help enough.
Yeah, that's true.
there are resources here to help. Thank you. Just talk, and I'm just very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, Tamisha. I can feel the passion that you have for helping those men. And thank you so much for sharing your experience, your services that you offer. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Until next time, thank you, Tamisha, for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.